When, for you, do the holidays officially start? Is it the day after Thanksgiving? Is it when you're putting up your tree? Is it when you're watching your favorite holiday special like Rudolph or Charlie Brown? Cool, you do you for the holidays. For me, and for a lot of us here, the holiday season begins when Bent River puts Jingle Java on tap. It's a Christmas miracle. On today's Brood, chestnuts roasting on an open fire. All right, I'll give you that one. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Seems weird flex, but I'm okay with it. But for me, and probably for a lot of you, it's not Christmas until you've had a couple of Jingle Javas from Bent River. This is Mike. Mike is the head brewer here at Bent River. We're at the Rock Island location. This is where you make most of the beer, right?
This is our production facility, yep.
Production facility. So, it's Christmas. We're enjoying the Jingle Java. Can I ask you a little bit about the history of Jingle Java?
Absolutely.
Because that's a beer that really is, I mean, you want to talk about seasonal beers. 'Tis the season.
Yeah.
Season's greetings. Was that the first seasonal you guys ever did here?
I believe the sweet potato was our first seasonal.
That makes sense.
Or maybe DeSoto, actually. That was created by one of our first brewers.
When you think about making a Christmas beer, I imagine at some point they sat down and said, we got to make something for Christmas. Knowing that you had this huge following and people were going crazy for Uncommon, I think we can kind of connect the dots as to how it happened, but I wonder if you could kind of walk us through it.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to make something that was as popular as Uncommon, that had what would remind people of a holiday flavor to it. The flavors that we went with, coffee-wise, were hazelnut, and there's a little maple flavor in there. And it kind of tasted like Christmas the first time we made it, and we thought, voila,
right.
we have a great product.
So it didn't take a lot of tries before you discovered what would work?
No, not at all.
It's the same oatmeal stout base that you use in the Uncommon Stout, right?
Yes, sir.
It's not just Uncommon Stout with a couple extra additives then.
No.
There's a lot more going on.
Well, it's literally the same beer as Uncommon. We just use a different coffee.
So it's a different coffee that you use.
Yep.
So you've got that maple, you've got that hazelnut, and I will say this, kids, if you're watching this show, Santa doesn't want milk this year. Santa wants you to leave out a Jingle Java. It's cool because the reindeer do the driving. Well, little fun Christmas fact.
That is true.
So Jingle Java has now become a staple. The sweet potato beer is what you want for Thanksgiving, and then the Jingle Java is what people want. It's become, Mike, a part of Quad City Christmas to the point where when people come back home for the holidays, people that don't live here come back home, it's like one of the first things they ask for.
Yeah. In fact, I was down in St. Louis 2 years ago around Christmas time, and I walked into a small little liquor shop there, and I had a Bent River shirt on, and the guy asked me immediately if I knew when Jingle Java was going to be back in the St. Louis area, and we don't distribute to the St. Louis area, so I was kind of confused by it. But fortunately enough, I happened to have a case of it in my car, and I brought it in for him, and I have never seen anyone light up like that man. So that was kind of a special moment for me.
That is a Christmas miracle. I was hoping we'd have a Christmas miracle here on the Christmas special, and you just gave it to us. So an area you don't distribute beer, this guy somehow thought that you did.
Yeah.
He fell in love with it, and you just happened to have a case.
Yeah, it was supposed to be for my parents who were visiting in the area, but I figured they can get one next year.
Did you tell your parents that they didn't get the Jingle Java?
They never knew.
Well, they know now. Jingle Java hasn't gone through any changes since it's originally rolling out, right?
No.
It's the same as it ever was.
Absolutely.
It is in bottled now. Now, we're here filming as they make it. This full disclosure, it's Christmas as we're watching this, but it's actually late September as we're filming this.
Yep.
So when do you know that, when do you start putting things together to get Jingle Java ready? Can you give us kind of a walkthrough on the timeline?
It depends on our sales. So this year, that was one of the beers. We participate in a Beer of the Month club, and it changes every year.
That is the gift, Clark, that gives the whole year long.
That's true. This year,
I'm not going to stop with the Christmas references. It's late September as we're filming this, but put this thing on your head and you're filled with the spirit. Beer of the Month Club. I'm sorry I interrupted.
you're all right. So the beer this year, they change up which ones we do. It's usually a different seasonal and then one of our flagship beers. This year they wanted to go with our winter beer. So that started out our production of it. We knew we needed to have that by a certain date. And by the time we got working on that, we've already sold 6 fermenters of it.
Wow.
As of today, with the first Jingle Java brew, I already have 6 fermenters of it sold. So we have to start now just to be able to have enough for release date in November for the rest of the community.
Mike, I have to imagine with something as popular as Jingle Java, there's got to be somebody here at the operation that is saying, you know, we could kind of extend the season, and why don't we make it, you know, year-round if people love it that much?
So that's something we've discussed with numerous beers, but I personally am under the impression that you want something more if you can't have it. And so I kind of like to play God a little bit on that level and take away from people so that I can give back later.
Right.
I just enjoy the smile I get once they get it again, and that's the whole reason for a seasonal beer.
Well, I find that you're dead on there, because I find once I know it's November, when I go to where I get my craft beer, that's what I'm scanning for, right? So you've conditioned me as a consumer to know when it's a certain time of year, and let's not kid each other. There are a myriad of choices when you go to get craft beer.
Absolutely.
So to have a consumer go with a mindset of, I'm not going to go find something new, I'm not going to go and look at cans and bottles and see what's new or what I've heard something about or what I've read good reviews about. I'm going, and the first thing I'm looking for is Jingle Java. And then if it's not Jingle Java, it's not available, I suppose you would rather I get like an undercurrent or something along those
Or a
lines.
sweet potato.
Right.
Definitely our most popular seasonal release, and we've been doing it for darn near 20 years at this point.
Right.
So it's amazing to me that it's maintained that popularity, every year.